Hey, this is a part 2 of a 3-part miniseries. Last time I looked at FNAF, so please go watch that first. I mean, you don't have to. It's not like there's like an overarching, plot or anything. But yeah, it would be nice if you did. You don't have to. Welcome back to my room. I added that thing on the shelf over there. I found it at like Five Below for $6. It's cool, right? And the mini series too, I guess. If you don't know what this is, well, basically,
The 2010s was a decade that lasted for 10 years, and in that decade, games were allowed to become bigger than they ever could and go fully viral. Out of those games, there are 3 that, from my perspective, left the most of a mark on the internet. So here I talk about the games themselves, then go into painstaking detail about its presence online, and by painstaking detail, I mean for memory and like 5 minutes of research.
there. Last time I did Five Nights at Freddy's, an indie horror game with simple but unique design that blew up almost immediately, starting a huge franchise that's still going today. But what could be next out of this trilogy? These wonderful games that bless so many people's Okay. You can do this. You can do this. It's just a game. Don't let it control you. Undertale. The indie RPG game that exploded in popularity, for better or worse. I've been interested with this game for a really long time. No, I haven't. I've never played this game in my life. It's and that's it. Let's get into how it came to be. Toby Fox was a small composer slash video game developer, mainly making ROM hacks and music for other people and said ROM hacks. His old work mainly included an Earthbound ROM hack and music for a webcomic called Homestuck, which I've actually never checked out. Guess to make this video, I now must. So it starts with the boy and his. Okay, I'm bored. Both of these works do actually share a specific song in them. I don't know why I brought that up, as literally no point whatsoever. One fateful day, he would start working on a mostly Earthbound-inspired RPG, working by himself with a bit of help mostly from Temmie Chang, who designed some characters. It attracted a lot of attention, so his Kickstarter goal was achieved tenfold. After 2.5 years in development, Undertale was released on September 15th, 2015. And we still don't know what the hell this is. So, why this game? Why is this, in your small baby brain, one of the biggest games of the decade? This crude looking 6-hour long rocket propelled grenade up on a pedestal with Five Nights at Freddy's and... What's the deal? Nothing. This game is and who cares? I even bought these protective goggles to save me from... I don't know. This game has a presence online. I'm sure you've heard of it and can't wait to hear from yours truly. But before that, we gotta get into the game itself. After all, it's been a couple years. It would be good to jump back in and give it a chance. So, let's put on our protective headwear, ow, and jump back into Undertale. Spoiler warning for a game that's 6 years old. I'm sure you know the story. Long ago, 2 races ruled over the earth, NASCAR and the Piston Cup, then they fight, and the cars are banished underground, surrounded by a barrier. Oh wait, this is the script for Cars 4. Humans and monsters, my bad. A barrier gets put up, and the monsters are stuck underground in an expansive cave with microclimates, apparently. The game itself opens with a boy or a girl
That's for you to decide.
falling into the underground with nowhere to go but not up. The first thing you notice is, wow, this game looks ass. Its art style isn't the best received, even for some people who play it all the way through, and it looks kinda rough. I personally don't think it looks that bad. It achieved what it was going for, looking like a simple RPG. But the beginning doesn't really leave the best impression visually. Especially your character looks, how do I put this in the nicest way possible? Shit. While I've judged the visuals of a mostly black room for long enough, let's go through this door. Here we have a little tutorial from a flower named Flowey. Yeah, okay, next you'll tell me there's a tree named Tree. God, I actually wrote that down. I thought it was good. He teaches you the basics of battling, so now's a good time to go over Okay, guess we'll do it later. This tutorial, instead of teaching you the battle system, teaches you don't trust anyone! Don't trust anyone! They lie to you! Don't trust them! We are then saved by a big goat lady. This is Toriel. Oh, I get it. And okay, I swear to God, is it just me or is Toriel's eyes slightly red? Am I colorblind? I swear in her battle sprite, her eyes are like slightly red. It makes sense why it would be, but like every other sprite in the game is fully black, so why? She gives you the tutorial on the ruins, which are full of puzzles and monsters, and this is where the game splits. This game has multiple endings based on your choices: pacifist, neutral, or genocide. Pacifist is not killing anyone, neutral is killing only one monster to killing all but one, and genocide is
You will die.
because the endings depend on killing everyone or not doing that, the battle system needed to let you win battles both ways. When it's your turn, you can fight, time the little slaughter thing to when it's in the middle to max out damage. Act, choose a way of ending the fight peacefully. Item, use your instant noodles. And mercy, end the fight peacefully. Every monster has different ways you can act to them, and it's up to you to find out which ones are the right ones to end the fight. When their names turn yellow, you can spare them, and win pacifistly, or you can kill them, I don't know. When it's their turn, you become this little heart. The enemy will send attacks at you and you dodge. I really like this because instead of, ooh, you got hit, if only you could have avoided that attack, ooh, you actually have a chance to avoid damage. When you get hit, it's your fault. You did that. Honestly, the fights are the weakest part of the game, but I feel like it was intentional. Undertale is very focused on its story and characters, and the battles are just kind of there to make it a video game. Why else do you think you can easily grind for money and get an overpowered set of armor? The battle system is so great and more in depth than some games, but not the reason you play the game. At least for me. The first part of the game is actually really good at setting up what Undertale will be like, a challenge to the RPG formula. You expect to go through this fighting monsters and gaining XP like any other game. Tutorial mentions a way you don't have to, but you assume it's some side thing, who cares. So you go through the ruins, fighting monsters and raising levels, and you get to Tutorial's house, either liking her or being skeptical of her. When she challenges you to fight, you're like, okay, boss time. When you defeat her, you expect her to let her go on since you bested her in battle, and that's what she was testing. Then she dies. Ah, that's what this game is. None of the other enemies show death, they just disappear like any other game, but Toriel literally dies. Now if you have any soul at all, you're going to want to go back and fix your mistake. On a second attempt, you try everything Toriel taught you earlier and get by without killing her. Then the flower comes back and remembers that you reset your game. Oh, that's what this game is. But that's the thing about this game. It wants to make you feel bad when you kill someone. And that wouldn't be possible if the game didn't have amazing characters. I don't know what you want me to say. It's Undertale. Of course the characters are great. What? There are 6 main characters who show up outside their specific section. Toriel and Flowery, who we just went over. Papyrus, the human hunting fanatic. Undyne, the murderous fish lady who will murder you. Alphys, the weeb. And Asgore, the king of monsters. These will be the characters you meet most on your journey, whether they start as friends or not. Also, I'm going off a pacifist playthrough with these characters. Okay, cool. Everyone except Asgore, who is only mentioned by people throughout the game, constantly giving you mixed info. Is he a total pushover or the one I should be prepared for? Is he a nice guy or a murderer? Yes. Then there are side characters who stick around only for their section. Like Metaton, the robotic TV host with a chainsaw. Or Monster Kid, some fucking zoomer. But even the characters who you can only talk to once have so much, well, character. If it wasn't clear yet, this game has personality. Every character, every interaction, every single line of dialogue is so much to it, whether it's funny, scary, or sad. I have so many examples to show, but I'd be showing the whole game at that point. From the towns, to the fighting dummies, to even a rock. A rock! Well, I guess you could say this game really is cool. Now, it's time to go through the game's story piece by piece. Get your chairs ready, get your calculator... What's that? Hey, what are you doing? Hey, wait, hey, no, hey! No, that's fine. No, that's cool. I'll just burn these 25 pages of character studies, funny jokes, and unfunny jokes. I spent like 15 hours writing. No, that's cool. I don't care. Alright, where are we? Asgore's room? Alright, cool. I really like how Asgore is introduced. Like I said, you've been given mixed info throughout the whole game. And you were just told that in your fight against Asgore, one of you must die. No pacifism here. And here he is watering flowers. Got it. He's nice to you at first, saying he'll talk to you in a bit once you finish watering the flowers. Then he turns around and sees you're the human, and immediately falls silent. I think it's an amazing introduction scene to this character after all the build-up. He knows he has to fight you, and you know you have to fight him. So you go to, whoa, Asgore, what kind of drugs did you give me, bro? So, after all the build-up, you see this character for who he really is. A nice guy who doesn't want to murder you, but feels like he has to. Thankfully, he stays that way through the whole time, and shows no real signs of murdering you. I see. Then you fight whatever. When you win, Asgore reflects on how his family fell apart, the loss of his 2 children, his wife leaving him for the decisions he's made, but sparing his life changes something inside. He wants to change. He wants to be with his wife. And maybe you're the key to— oh no, he's dead, okay. Ladies and gentlemen, the biggest 180 a game can throw. Up to this point, this game is a fairly traditional RPG. You know, other than you being able to spare monsters instead of fighting them, and the game kinda remembering when you reloaded the save, you could see it running on like the SNES or something. Then you get here and all hell breaks loose. Suddenly, the fourth wall breaks, Flowery controls his save file, he crashes the game multiple times, and he can even give people seizures. Ooh. Not to mention the giant plant, human, TV, octopus, elephant in the room. Most of the game you fight stuff like this, then this. I know this whole section was kind of a mess, but there's one more thing I need to talk about before we get into the internet. And this is a personal thing for me. For some reason I refuse/forget to talk about it in every video I make, even though it's some of my favorite parts of video games. So this is the perfect time to talk about it. The music! Local news story. Internet guy likes the Undertale OST? This is unprecedented. I mean, can you blame me? As I said earlier, Toby Fox is also a composer, making music for projects or just for fun. In recent years, he's even been hired to write music for huge games like— okay, alright, yeah. Okay. Is that a surprise though? Toby Fox is an amazing composer, and nowhere is that more evident than Undertale's OST. Again, I don't even know where to start. The opening theme is also the main theme of the game, and is epic. The melody is used constantly, like here, and here, and here. Here's a flower song, cool. Here it is again, it's the most hype music to ever be in a video game, unironically. The Hotland theme, and it's and then the chorus again. Speaking of Hotland, Metaton's existence and his boss theme. Did I say boss themes? Every boss theme is amazing and fits the character, from Undyne being heroic to Asgore's being tragic. Asgore. The opening to his battle uses a small melody and then ching, silence. Melody comes back and gets beats. Is that it? Ghost theme is cool, then Mad Dummy does it cooler, and then you're like, okay, cool. No way you're topping that. Then Spider does it again. 2 notes. 2 small notes. That's all it takes for the song to portray Asgore's tragedy. The quiet, somber tone of your walk to the king's castle. The game's namesake, Undertale, takes you through the capital, with the people you spared on your journey, who tell you the tragic tale of this land's royalty. Heavy weight put on your shoulder, but it never feels like you're far from home. Temmie Village is funny, OMG random, so funny and quirky. But nothing, absolutely nothing, tops everyone's favorite song in all of Undertale. You know it, you love it, it's been memed into the ground. Log Elevator. And a 2019 remix. Alright, I know that took a while, but last time with FNAF, the gameplay kind of boiled down to— there was a bit more to talk about here, but it's over now, so we can get into the internet. If you didn't know, first, you're lying, and second, Undertale's presence on the internet isn't a rabbit hole, it's a black hole. So much work from all corners of the internet, collecting millions upon millions of— wait, go back. Who the fuck put this one in here? Whatever, let's start this. There's just one video where a couple guys fight some other guys that apparently has like 2 full seasons, but I don't care, it's— whatever, moving on. Senior Pello, yes, the guy who made the 2 Friday Night fucking characters, made a 3-part animation for each ending. Watching it again, it hasn't really aged, and it's still kind of fun. I mean, it sucks, and nobody should go watch it. Much like FNAF, there was one big person who Let's Played the game, and while Undertale doesn't have the most obvious big one, from my perspective, Jacksepticeye is the most popular, and the one I'd never watch because it's— let's move— I can't keep doing this. This isn't fair. This whole time I've been saying this game is cringe, anything about it cringe, but honestly, I don't think that. The truth is, I was an Undertale kid. I was everything, the whole 9 yards. I watched every type of video you can imagine, from comics to cosplay. I loved it. Every once in a while, I get into kind of an obsession mode. If I see a game or some media that I really love, it'll just be my life for a while. Undertale was that on steroids, because not only was it obsessive, but it lasted a long time, way longer than any other game. But eventually, it ends. And when that happens, when I crawl out of the void, I never want to go back. So I try to avoid this game like the plague to not have the next 5 months of my life be about Undertale. but every once in a while I'll slip and watch an Undertale video for nostalgia, and that's all it takes. So I knew this video was coming, and I don't want to go back. It's not something I want to do. Not because the game is unpleasant or anything, it's because it's too pleasant. But in doing that, I'm ignoring art for this game. Art that people worked hard on for a game they love, and I can't just ignore that. So I think Jack's Let's Play is a good place to start. Besides, it's been years since I was last into this game. I've emotionally matured since then. Maybe I won't be obsessed with it and can just appreciate the art. I'm into the game again. God, I knew this shit would happen every time. God, this is your fault. You told me to do this. This is your fault. None of this would have happened. God, every time, every single time I watch it, I don't want to go back. I can't go back. He has funny green hair.
Every human that falls down here meets the same fate. I've seen it again and again. They come.
Alright, I guess I gotta get into how I found out about this game. Here we go. My earliest memory of Undertale was playing Roblox. Jesus Christ, Roblox. Yes, I was a Roblox kid, okay? I'm not gonna apologize for who I was, alright? I saw a roleplay game. Yes, I played roleplay games. A game called Undertale RP. Now, I didn't know what this was, and it caught my interest, so I decided to play it. The only thing I remember from that server is seeing Omega Flower for the first time and being like, what the hell? So I went as that and walked around for a bit, and then left. I didn't think about it for weeks. That's not the end, though. Later, I was, for some reason, building a box spaceship in my front yard with some of my friends. I don't remember why. This was 6th grade. We had a Wii. And my friend played a song on his phone. And it wasn't a song in the OST or anything. It was... It was fucking... And I was like, hey, that kind of sounds like a Steven Universe song. Yes, I watched Steven Universe. God, the story keeps getting better and better. He showed me the video, and from then on, it was history. You know, after watching that video like 80,000 times in a row. There, you happy? I gave it to you.
No.
Alright, now that I'm into the game again, I might as well go all in. Undertale the Musical. A huge 4-hour-long project, adding lyrics to the entire soundtrack. There isn't one for Long Elevator, though. Okay, I'm done. I'm done! It also includes a lot of art and voice talent. It is really just impressive. While I personally can't get into it as much as when I was younger, I can definitely see the work put into this. There's even a genocide one, which is another hour, and I think a lot better. If you haven't heard of this before, you should at least check it out. It's pretty cool. Okay. Then there's the other Undertale the Musical. What do you want me to say? Parodying bad romance, weird animation and lyrics, bad singing. I love this video. I mean, come on, how could I not? To be fair, it is only because of the memes. I can't count the amount of times I was just with friends and out of nowhere someone just goes, oh, and it can pretty much fit anywhere, let me tell you. The beginning part of Hollow Knight, oh, that one part in Bowser's Fury, oh, that one part in Undertale where the character falls, oh wait. Anytime someone falls, just add story of Undertale and you will achieve comedy in my eyes. Another one my friends used to quote all the time was the Papyrus rap. Whenever the room got quiet, someone just yelled out the first lyric to the song. Oh, god damn it, leave me alone, JT Music. Haven't you took enough of my... The animation of this video reminds me of another series, If Undertale was Realistic. Funny animation with a sarcastic Frisk exploring the underworld. He reacts in the most realistic way possible. Can't disagree there. I used to watch this series and it's okay. A lot of jokes that are just kill me lol, but some of them still stick today. But this series is actually terrible, and I'll tell you why. As I just read, the description reads, he reacts in the most realistic way possible. But in the series, he describes himself as a genderless child, and then in the description they say he, how could they do this? You can't do this to me! I like how I skipped over Glitch Tale, this well-animated 2-season-long show, just to talk about if Undertale was realistic in depth. I need to be put to sleep. While still on the topic of animation, let's get more positive. Undertale is one of the most talented communities when it comes to this type of stuff. So many amazingly animated battles, conversations, moments, everything. It's so cool because Undertale is an expressive game, but when you look at it, not much to get out of it besides the words and the little face in the corner. Now look at it. People could take these small moments and create something amazing out of it. A perfect example of this, and the first one that comes to my mind, is Kara vs Mettaton Neophyte. In the game's Genocide run, Mettaton enters its final form for a challenging battle, setting it up as another obstacle for you to overcome. Then it dies at one hit. That's all you get. This person took that scene and made an awesome fight scene with two characters who don't even fight in the game. It's so cool. Okay, that's enough actual talent. Undertale shorts, for some reason I watch these all the time on loop, like constantly. Hey, maybe I'll see some appeal. Let's go. Another big part of the Undertale community was fan-made bosses. Some of old characters, some of new. How about instead of just talking about some, why don't we rate a couple based on gameplay, character, music, and Vine compilate. The first one is against Kara, the first human to fall down in Undertale. You play as Azrael for some reason, and then you fight. The attacks used are really cool. They use weapons you could find for the game, like the ballet shoes, frying pan, and the tough glove. They use them really creatively. Halfway through the fight, they start using player souls they took from genocide runs, and throws them at you in mass. Character. I mean, Kara is in the word character, so I don't need to say anything else. I never really knew what Kara's deal was in Undertale, and this is Kara from like some AU. Don't worry, we'll get to those bastards. Music. For this section, I'm pretty sure not all the music was made by the same person who made the fight, but I'm including it anyways. The music used is actually an older song made by Toby Fox, which isn't surprising because it sounds amazing. Overall, this one is really cool, and I rate it 8 out of 10, whatever that means. Disbelief Papyrus. If in the genocide run, Papyrus gets to see all of his friends die. A concept I thought would be pretty stupid, but is actually executed pretty well. Papyrus is very in character, and that goes along with the whole game. All the text that shows up feels ripped straight from Undertale. Although Papyrus does this thing where he gives up and then doesn't give up like 5 times. It's annoying, but I guess it's in character. The attacks, while difficult, are complete eye candy, and it's not like you're the one fighting it anyway, so whatever. Finally, the music. Oh my god. It's all really good. It even uses the car fight music from earlier, with some additional parts that I think make it sound better. Overall, this one is definitely worth checking out, and I give it a 9 out of 10. Speed round, baby, speed round time. Alphys Neo. Alphys Genocide Run, very out of character throughout the whole thing. Gameplay is cooler Metaton with random puzzle, and music slaps, 6 out of 10. Speaking of Metaton, Metaton Neo, the fight that never was. If Metaton Neo was a thing, and it's okay. Gameplay is cool, it doesn't look that hard, but to be fair, I just saw this, so maybe it's Whiplash. Character, I don't know, Metaton. Music is pretty cool, it's the power of Neo with some other songs in there, 6 out of 10. Red, I don't know why this one got so popular, but if you didn't know much about Undertale, you would assume Red was an actual character in the game. It's okay. Attack, she can split the screen, cool. Character, I don't fucking know. Music, generally hurt my ears, 3 out of 10. And that's it. That's all. That's everything I could think of for the Undertale community, right? There isn't like some major other part of the fandom I'm not that I'm missing, right? Right? AUs, or alternate universes. I don't get them. People who wanted something else from the Undertale storyline create their own, whether they want a different location or something different about the characters themselves. One of the most popular being Undertale, where everyone's just red and black. Okay, that's not it. The characters are more evil, I guess, more murderous, caused by Asgore being a douche in this timeline. Not much to say beyond that. Underswap, another one of the most popular, and guess what it's about? If the characters swap personalities. No way! I mean, you know, Asgore is the person in the ruins, Toriel is the queen at the end, Undyne is the real scientist, Alphys is the real guard person. It's a cool idea, I think. Undertale, but in space. That's it. Not true in the slightest. The characters wear blue. When trying to find the name of this one, I looked up Overtale and Spacetale, and both of them were a thing. That should tell you how deep this goes. Horror Tale takes place after a neutral run where you only kill Asgore. Kingdom falls to ruin, everyone goes insane, and they even have blood on them. Ooh. Then there's this really weird one. It's called, like, Delta Rune. It has some of the characters in it, but they aren't even underground. There's only one chapter out now, with more to come, and it's really high quality. I don't know who made this, but, like, come on, this is nothing like what Toby Fox would make. Not even close. You should be ashamed of yourself. Ladies and gentlemen, we have not even scratched the surface of Undertale's presence online, but I also need to stop for air every once in a while. It gets deep in that abyss, and I should quit while I'm ahead. But there is basically the beginner's guide to Undertale Online. If you want to know more, either research yourself, or watch this awesome video by Super Eyepatch Wolf. It's pretty much this video, but better. Now, you may be wondering, okay, dipshit, why is this game one of the biggest games of the decade? Did you not just hear everything I said? This game doesn't end. You could look up any cutscene or even character from the game, and I'm sure you would find some art or comic about them somewhere. I looked up that random rabbit from Snowden, and lo and behold, here you go. Although it didn't reach too far out of its own community for too long, when it did, it did. It was even given to Mr. Pope Man by Game Theory, but he doesn't have funny hair, so I'm not interested in him. However, most of the time when it reached outside of the community, it wasn't entirely positive. I'm not going to go too deep into it, but Undertale has been in a weird spot recently, for the past like 5 years. What I'm trying to say is, this game created a huge fan base that care immensely about its characters and storytelling. Even to this day, people remember this game fondly, and it deserves to be. Undertale is an absolutely amazing game, Everything about it makes me feel so warm and nostalgic inside. The characters, the story, I mean, that's what I really didn't scratch the surface of, was the game itself. For the longest time, I've been scared to get back into this game because of how good it is. But then I remember how I felt when first discovering the game, and the defense slips away. Five Nights at Freddy's is great and nostalgic, whatever, and the next game is, well, we'll get to it. But this one feels different. And even though its popularity has been waning in recent years, it will always be remembered for telling an amazing tale that won't be forgotten. That's why it's one of the biggest games of the 2010s. Sans Undertale, Sans Undertale. Hey guys, Sans Undertale is the funny one. Honestly, I didn't know if Undertale was gonna be on this list. It's a huge game, like I said, but was it big enough to shake the internet, or just from what I remembered from it? And my reasoning for why it's here was hard to come up with. Yeah, it helped, it contributed to it being here. But it's Sans. Sans is why this game is one of the biggest games of the 2010s. It's Sans. Yes, his character is getting his own section. Sans is easily the most popular character from this game. Look up this game, he will be there, following you. And I get why. He introduces himself as a lazy jokester counterpart to his serious brother, but as you go throughout the game having some conversations with him, he reveals that there's more to him than a silly skeleton guy. Apparently, like you and Flowey, Sans is aware when you reset the game. He lives through it. He remembers everything from every timeline. But unlike you and Flowey, he has absolutely no control over it. He knows one day everything he does will have been reset, so why bother with anything? This isn't really explained in the pacifist route. For that, you go to the genocide. There, he explains to you what his life is like over a coffee and a couple chats, and leaves you alone. Nothing else notable happens. Oh, except for the most popular boss fight in all of gaming. The entire genocide route is you making this game your little plaything, one-shotting everything except Undyne, murdering people you love, and then you meet Sans. After you killed his brother, he disappears for most of the game until the ending. He's sick of watching from the sidelines, so he challenges you to a battle. He knows you can come back after every death. He knows stalling for time isn't a thing he can do. He wants to make you quit playing. You. So you don't finish the game. He does that by the most popular boss fight. A fight. And it's really hard. The build up, the character, the fight itself made this a fan favorite. It's easily the most popular fight from the game and blew up in the community. Because of that, people outside the community saw a difficult fight with a guy that beats the piss out of you, with a funny noise and a funny song, and said, okay, time to meme this to shit. And so Sans became the face of Undertale, and people who never played the game know who this bozo is. But I don't know, what's so great about him? Maybe it's the way he's dressed? Nah, I can't lie, I love this character. I even dressed up as him for Halloween one year, and no, I'm not ashamed to admit that. I worked hard on that mask for like a month. And hey, look at that, it still fits. People put Sans' face over everything, a guy coming out to fuck some shit, a surprise, karma, anything with Megalovania in tow. Oh yeah, Megalovania. Megalovania plays when you're fighting Sans, and this song, it's how do I put this? It's its own music genre. So many remixes of this one song, from dubstep to violin to mouth, I guess. And then there's remixes of the song itself. Megalovania with only the first beat. Megalovania with only the second beat. You get it. Look up Megalovania and then any music genre that exists. You will find it. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the obligatory meme section, where I show off every single meme in my camera roll. Enjoy! Another small, tiny, little interesting thing about Sans is that he made his way into Smash Bros. You know, that AAA Nintendo game that you need to sell your soul to get into? Snaz is there. Not only was he not even the main character of his game, he was also the very first indie character to ever get into Smash as a playable character. Shovel Knight was there, I guess. He even beat Minecraft Steve. Minecraft Stevie. He is only a Mii fighter, but honestly, I think that's perfect for him. He doesn't really have that much potential for a moveset besides some bones. Hey, wait, this isn't a Smash video, this is a Sans video! It really shows how big Sans got, that he was noticed enough by the Smash scene to be put in. Again, Snazin is not the main character of Undertale. You would have thought they would add Frisk first or something, but no, he's just that epic. So actually, why is Undertale one of the biggest games of the 2010s? Sans. Not to downplay any of its other achievements, its amazing writing, its characters, its subversions, everything worked together to make this an absolutely amazing game, totally worth the title of viral. But it's Sans. And because Sans is from Undertale, he pushes the game's popularity up. Oh wait, I already did an outro. Huh. I guess I gotta get rid of this Undertale obsession now. It was fun for this video, but it's gotta go. Alright, I gotta go. I gotta go on a journey. I'll be right back. This will either be 5 seconds or a couple of weeks based on where you are. Okay, bye. I think it's stuck.